What's up, guys? I'm Mike.
And I'm Luke.
And today we are going all the purple cards from One Piece OP07 Emperors in the New World. Of course, we've already done red, green, and blue. They're up to the public right now if you're watching this publicly. But of course, our members have access to all of our videos up to 2 weeks early and have all the other color reviews up right now. So if you want to support the channel, help us make great content, and get that info right into your brain as fast as possible so you can start picking up cards for your decks, you can support us by becoming a member and check them out right now. And of course, as we grade our cards here, we have the power scale to help kind of inform you guys how much we think of this card. 1 is the lowest, and it's basically why would you put this card in your binder, let alone your deck. And 3 is the middle ground. You're gonna play a lot of 3s in your deck typically, but those cards aren't necessarily why you're building your deck or what you're building deck around, but you're more than happy to play them. They're gonna be really impactful in your matchups. And of course, 5 is the most broken cards to exist in this game. They are game warping. They dictate how you build your deck if you're in those colors, or how you build your deck to combat that deck in your local tournaments or your large tournament events. Think of Gecko Moria. And OP09 has one brand new 5 that we've added to the collection. So if you want to go check that out with our other videos to find out who it is, you can do that. But today we're going over purple, which means starting with our brand new Monkey.D.Luffy Leader, purple, black. Now, for context, we are going to skip the Robin leader, which is purple yellow, because everything else in this set that relates to it is in yellow. So we'll come back to her at a later point just to make that more clear in the yellow video. But Monkey.D.Luffy, purple black 4-life leader, 5,000 power with the goated alt-art manga cap here. Absolutely great.
That's that Joy Boys, baby.
That's the brand. We should make proxies of this leader where it's us doing the same thing. Like probably the same way. Dawn 1, all your characters get +1 cost, so it's just like the black Luffy leader from the recent starter deck 13 or 14. And then during your turn, once per turn, when 2 or more Dawn cards on your field are returned to Dawn deck, up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck as active, and then add another one as rested. So the first time that you go hard on a Dawn minus for a singular ability, you're going to basically get that ability for free. And then more than that, you're going to gain a little bit of resource tempo because you get 1 back as active as well. Yeah, this is just like super generic. Like I think you can just play this card with the second effect and you'd be happy. So like getting the +1 cost is just like icing on the cake. And so given that, I'm gonna give this leader a 4.
Yeah, this leader I think gets a 4.5 from me because like that Dawn ×1 like is just like it's unnecessary. Like but like you feel like, you know, they were looking for a black ability and they just were like, yeah, cram it in there.
Yeah, I'm just sick of the only way to out black is to play black, you know? It's just like,
yeah, fair.
It's like, how many sets now? How many? Yeah, great leader. We're gonna skip over Robin for now and move over to Usopp. 4/6 gets a 2. It's 4/6 vanilla, but this one's gonna play a lot harder in the current purple and purple black decks. You're gonna see running around. I do like this choice of art though. Good one.
I really like it. I like the pencil sketching. It feels like Oda art, so that's cool.
It reminds me of the red binder cards.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
We have Killer, who's a 5/5 1K counter with on-play Kid Pirates. Dawn -1, activate up to 1 of your leaders with Kid Pirates type.
And this is like the other half of those red purple Kid cards support, right? So
the fact that we have more is crazy. The fact that this is a Django, what's his name? The dude who hypnotizes.
Oh, Django, yeah.
Django,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a Django for Kid Pirates with counter. Is at the cost of Dawn -1 is pretty cool. It's obviously gonna play lower because the leader it's tied to is low, but I do think this is actually a 3.5 card.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could potentially swing 7 twice with that leader, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the leader is underpowered in the context of the format, but because we grade our cards as individual cards, I gotta give this a 3.5.
Yeah, I think I'll give it 3, like a solid 3.
It's at least a 3. You can't go lower than that.
Yeah, I can't go lower than that. It's pretty good.
Following up killer is Sanji. Give me that good sauce, bro.
Big ups on this card. I'm big ups on this card.
I also think this is one of the few times that I actually like the regular art better.
Yeah, 100%. He looks like He-Man in the second one. Like his hair is just like a little bit longer. Yeah,
but also like the just this moment where he crushes the suit is crazy. Yeah. Also getting like the Luffy moment in the corner is like nice with it too.
Yeah.
7/7 1K counter on play. Return 1 or more Dawn cards from your field to deck. This card gains rush and then you get to rest an opponent's character cost 6 or less. This card is a 4.5. This card is crazy because in the purple black deck it's suited to go with. It does its ability for free because you choose to do 2. And then you actually get an active Dawn, so it could technically be a 6/8 rush. you know, to fix it being understated. But you can play this in any, obviously purple Luffy, but any purple deck can play this as an aggressive, large interaction piece, which is nuts, and it has no downside because it's counter.
It is crazy because this gets over a lot of the blockers that are like coming out. It gets over Rebecca. It gets over Sabo. It gets over Lucky Roo. It doesn't even care about Lucky Roo because it's a 7K.
Yeah,
it's just too good. I love this card. It's great.
Yeah, it just sets up things your opponents like, you know, especially like Dofi players, the smart ones where like, oh, they took the damage, I'm not gonna expose the rest of my board, so I'm gonna like leave them back as like the Duffy counter, and I can like untap next turn more Dawn and like make the pressure higher. It's like, no, your cards are being pressured right now. Like, you have the Boa Hancock blocker, it's down. You set up, you can even set up like a 6-8 Boa if you're playing that still, and they're like, nope, rest it, get the Dawn back active for my black purple Luffy leader, make this an 8, smash into that face. Yeah, this card is crazy. 4.5. This is going to be a purple staple moving forward. I suggest picking up copies of this card if you can get them cheap for sure. And I think OP09 will be pretty cheap. We're going to have the OP05 effect where like everything that isn't the chase cards are going to be pretty cheap because people are going to be ripping it for the mangas. Yeah, get this card. Gene Bart 4/6, part of the law support for the errated law. Yeah, we still don't have it in English, by the way. What's happening?
They don't want it in English. We don't want it in English.
Well, they done banned the card! On play, if the number of Dawn cards your opponent has is more than Dawn cards on your field, KO up to one of your opponent's characters costs 3 or less. This feels like a better version of like the killer that's in the starter deck where it doesn't have counter, but it's like the 5/6 or 5/5 that like Dawn minuses KO at 3 or less rested. Yeah. This feels like a much cleaner version of that.
I like it. And also a 4/6 is great stats, so.
I will say, I mean, this is a very playable card in that errated law deck because you cheat it out as a 4/6 for -3 and then you immediately remove a 3-body. So that's technically value. I'm gonna give this a 3.
I think it's like a 3.5, honestly.
Whoa!
I actually think I'm big ups on this card because like this is because it's not leader lock, because it's like you could put this on anything. You could put that in king. Like that's for cool.
Sure. I think my only issue is that it's not equal to or less, so that's why I'm a little lower on it. Because it can only be less. Like, if we can play this like in purple decks and just be like, oh, we're both at 10, I'll remove this blocker. Like, that's one thing. But yeah, cool.
I think you definitely have to pre-play, right? You have to Dawn minus.
For sure. Yeah, you have to play around it a little harder.
Yeah, you could do that defensively, right? You could play Queen, and then you could play Ice Age, and then you could and then slap this down.
Oh yeah, I mean
right?
you could be playing Zephyr and then like activate Zephyr's ability and then play this.
Oh, so cool. Yeah.
Jinbe is here. 7/9 gets a 2 because it's just a large vanilla body, but it's also Straw Hat traded, which is huge. It's Fishman traded, which can be huge in the future. But most importantly, this card's actually gonna play a little bit stronger in the current meta, just because this is a purple Straw Hat card, and purple Straw Hat cards matter right now more than they ever have before. Tony.Tony.Chopper is another purple Straw Hat card. It's a 5/6 1K counter. Straw Hat pirates, animals. At the end of your turn, you may return one Dawn card, one or more, to your deck, activate this character, and then it gains a blocker until the end of your opponent's turn.
I think this is the strongest chopper that we have, right?
This might, it's this or the 3/4 that reduces. It's like kind of a tie.
Right, yeah.
Or, so you're talking power level? Power level, this is the strongest one. Yes, 100%.
I think it might also be the strongest chopper next to the 3/5, yeah.
The 3/4, yeah. It's definitely between those two. Yeah, this card's great. I mean, this is another one of those cards where like, hey, pre-release players, look out, this card is an absolute house. It gives vigilance, like you Dawn -1 for vigilance, and then you do it in the purple black Luffy deck and you lose nothing. You do it when you're at 10 Dawn, you lose nothing because you're gonna get 2 back. Yeah, this card is super much. You can play it off Luffy Taro, like my god. That's the thing with Luffy Taro right now, is that Luffy Taro before, you're choosing offensive value or you're choosing defensive value, and you don't get both. This is, you get whatever. Hey, baby, I can be whatever value you want me to be.
You can't say that about that little boy. You can't say that about that little boy. So that's a child.
It's a ditto breeder meme, you know?
I know, yeah, but like, not around his
It's just a joke. It's not him. It's a card. Anyway, I'll give this a hard 4. This card's great.
This card's a 4.
This might be one of the strongest uncommons in the game, I'll be real.
Yeah.
Trafalgar Law is our brand new 1/2 searcher. When played, look at top 4 cards of your deck for a cost 2 or more. So this is like a weird new little pigeonhole, basically to make it so you can't search itself without saying it can't search other versions of Law, which is really relevant. And then you get to search either Straw Hat Crew or Heart Pirates type cards and then place them in your hand. So it's good in the purple Luffy Straw Hat decks. It's good in your RP Law decks. It's good in your future Law decks or your future like mix archetype decks. This card is definitely like, has the, hold on, forgot there's also an alt art, banger.
Nice.
This card, I think, has one of the highest ceilings for a searcher moving forward because it is so open to filling gaps. Like right now, we are super into archetypes only, with the exception of Lucci decks and like black decks, it feels like. And this is one of the cards that's gonna help like other archetypes break out of being solo archetype and being multi-typal.
I mean, this is the same.
So this to me is a 4.
Okay.
I think this is one of the strongest searches we have.
I mean, this is basically Mr. 3 from last set looking for Brook work and
But Mr. 3 can't search any version of itself. This one can search other versions of Law.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's why it's the cost thing. So it says 2 or more.
I was like, are you big up something because
here's
of
the
bias?
Thing. It does mean, and fairly so, that it can't search other one-drop searchers, right? So you can't play this and grab a red Nami, for example, because it doesn't cost 2 or more. You can't grab a one-drop blocker chopper. But that'd be absolutely absurd. We never want that to ever be a thing happening.
Yeah, we're not.
So, given that, I think this is actually one of the most pushed searchers in the game.
Yeah. I was wondering why you were so like bias based. I thought it was bias based on this card. No, this is actually like one of the best searches in the game.
This lets you play less copies of, let's say, Blocker Law in your purple Luffy decks, just to have that interaction still, but you don't have to gum up a bunch of numbers of it, because you're gonna have more extension to search in your deck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, if I'm playing a searcher and I pull a 1 cost anyway, like that's bad.
It better be Radical Beam.
Yeah, it better be. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, this card's a 4.
Yeah, let's go, my boy. Another one for the collection. We got Nami, 3/2 2K counter,
cool
Straw
Nami
Hat.
card.
Yeah, this card is sick. I don't think it has an altar. Yeah, it's not rare.
No, it doesn't.
On play, you may return 1 or more Dawn cards, and then you get 2 Rested Dawns, 1 of your leader or characters. I definitely see this card getting a lot more play recently, just as kind of like a combo extender. Obviously, like you play like numbers of them as a 2K counter for sure, if you like just prefer it in general. But I've definitely seen the stonks on this card start to rise as people are combating board states with Purple Luffy with more combat than they are interaction and smashing face. This card to me is a 3.5. It's just like a slightly more push than average 2K counter that you play, but I'm super happy to have it in the deck. Super cool.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about it in like comparison to like for Nosuke and stuff. But
yeah, and so it lets you build wide early. Like for Nosuke, you only do it wide late because you have to be a certain Dawn count. But this one, it's like okay, I need to smash this turn, but I also need to build a body so I can untap and pressure leader. So it's like I'll play this for 3, I'll regrant 2. But I mean, in Purple Black Luffy, you're doing way more than that, right? Like this is just like on the top end. That being said, it's less good like Purple Luffy and other variants. But I think this is slightly stronger than the average playable 2K, so I'm gonna give it 3 points. Nico Robin, my wife, 2/2 1K counter blocker. Don't you dare degrade her like that. That's literally insulting to even like reference her in that way. Okay, bow the hell down, dude. Try and say the F word less. Yeah, just generic blocker, unfortunately, but I think there's probably like a way the format develops where you care about having this in a purple Straw Hat deck. That being said, it's not like it's like you play 1-2 copies maybe, and I don't think anyone's playing it right now. But it is a 2-drop blocker. It's generically playable, like a 4/6 vanilla and above, so I'll give it a 2.
I'm gonna give it a 2. Yeah, I don't.
Art though. Art is like a 4.
Art is like a 5. Art is great.
You can use texture.
They really, I like it a lot. I mean, like texturing is like you could put texturing on it.
That's part of it.
Like,
that sounds wrong, dude. That sounds wrong. Franky is here at 4/5 with 1K counter. Blocker, when played, you can Dawn -2 to discard card from hand, draw 2 cards. So this is our queen essentially, but you Dawn
This card is good.
Yeah, this card is great. It's literally our queen, and Purple Black Luffy. It's obviously super goated. I think we have it all target. Let's go, Franky Radical.
Oh, this card is great.
It's so good.
Really not beating the Queen is my dad allegations though. Really not beating the.
Yeah, yes. I do think that the answer is no, though. I think that it's Weevil's dad. I think Queen is Weevil's dad because it makes way more sense. Like like genetically.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This card's like a 4.
This card's a 4.
It might play like a 4.5 in some decks just because of the Dawn -2. But it's definitely worth the Dawn -2, and then when you mitigate it, you're cooking. Yeah,
I was literally talking to Ryan, I think, about not getting any more alt arts that outside of my color main character. This is a sick ass alt art.
This is an exception. It's gonna be cheap as hell too. So.
Oh, I wish. It's rare,
it
right?
will be.
No,
OP09.
it's an SR, dude. It's an. Oh, I see.
Yeah, but OP05. All right, it's gonna be OP5 pack. It's gonna be They're gonna be cracking this stuff like there's nothing. Maybe not on release, but like by like January, February. Brook, 6/7, 1k counter. When attacking, you may return up to 1 Dawn card from your field to your Dawn deck. Up to 2 of your opponent's characters get 2,000 minus to their attack. So this is basically the on-play version of Monkey-D, but 6/7 when attacking. I don't think this card sees play, and it actually surprises me. I think the way that purple Luffy decks are playing, there is room to play like 2 copies of this card because it has counter, because you have card selection, because you're already ramping. So 6 costs. So you can't play it on Luffy Taro. That's like the one thing hard hitting against it. But I could definitely see this card mattering, especially into decks like Blackbeard, where you're not gonna get your on play effects, but this is a way you can help manage their board outside of that as well.
Yeah, that's how you take out the Jesus Burgess.
Yeah, 3.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna be giving it a 3.5, but because you can put this in red, purple Uta with Shanks.
Of course, this plays.
Yeah.
Bepo's here, 2 cost, 2k counter with 2,000 power, makes Heart Pirates. During your turn, once per turn, when Dawn is returned to your Dawn deck from the field, up to one of your leader's characters gets plus 1,000 for the turn. This is really cool. This is like a cool kind of engine piece we don't have, I think, in purple at all. And you can just play it in any purple deck. It just says when you're Dawn minusing, which all purple decks want to do, your leader converts that to 1,000 power. In the similar way that some like get you the active Dawn. This kind of helps you on the top end, where like you're Dawn minusing and you're already getting Dawn back active, or you don't care about getting it back active. So you can like, let's say you have like a 5 kid on board, right? You're at 10 Dawn, you have this in 5 kid. You Dawn -1, so you get the Dawn back already with kid, but now you're still getting extra value because you don't have more Dawn to add, but you're adding direct power.
Yeah. It's seeing you do it, so then you just, that's cool.
Yeah, and when it's not doing that, it's 2k counter. So I'm pretty high on this, 3.5. This is a pretty good 2k.
I think 3. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think that's a really cool engine piece, and sticking it on a 2K makes it right. I think, otherwise I feel like
actually, you know what? Sorry, I'm being biased here. It is a 3. You're right. It's a 3, but it's gonna play like a 3.5 because it's Heart Pirates, so it has the extension of the Law Searcher now to get played in like other purple decks. Speaking of Eustass Kid is a 3/5 with on play. Add a top card of your life to your hand. If your leader is Kid Pirates traded, get a Dawn ramped active. That's a lot for when you're not doing it for your leader every time, but I don't hate it because purple Luffy is just that good that putting it on a 3/5 character is probably just that good. It does also get you 1 Dawn closer to turning on your RP kid. So instead of your opponent having to take 2 of your life, you only take 1 of your life, so they can't starve you out as easily. And we were talking about this earlier, kind of like in, like, one mistake, and we have a bunch of life-taking cards, and then Gold D. Rogers is like the most broken card in the game, right? Like now we have, like, if you want to play a purple red deck with Gold D. Roger, you have this, and you have 2 drops on Gino, and it's like that's some good options, and it's gonna ramp you to the Gold D. Roger. So for me, like the fact that it comes down so early to ramp, and it's statted as a 3/5 aggressively, I'm gonna use a 3.5.
This is only Kid Pirates traded, right? Like if your leader is Kid Pirates.
Oh, never mind. I take it all back. 3. It's still 3.
I wanted to make sure that we were like thinking. I think the card's still good. But it is locked into red purple.
My example still stands. You can still play Sanji in this and RP Kid and then play Gold D. Roger.
You can still do that. That's pretty sick. That combo is pretty sick. 3.5.
Who would have guessed that Kid was Ace's brother? Crazy.
I really like cards where it's like a 3/5 statted thing and then it does something cool.
And it's also an engine piece.
Yeah, so that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, whereas like the Bepo, for example, is like an engine piece, but it doesn't do anything else when it's on board. Yeah. Cool. Roronoa Zoro, speaking of engine pieces.
Speaking of 3/5s,
3/5 engine pieces, boy. I think this is an altar, right? No, it doesn't. Damn, they didn't give us an altar. It's a rare. No. That's crazy.
It feels like it's the alt art of the starter deck.
That's
Zoro.
fair.
That's why it feels like.
So this card, it's all tempo. It's not like real power. It's all tempo. So on play, you may return 1 or more Dawn cards from your field to your Dawn deck, and then and then you get to add an active Dawn for your Dawn deck to the field. So.
Yeah.
In every purple deck that isn't black purple Luffy, you play this card, you return 1, and you get 1 back active. So let's say you're on 3 Dawn, you can swing for 6 with your leader still that turn. You play 1 drop still, right? To extend multiple bodies. But in purple black Luffy specifically, you then actually ramp a Dawn, and then you recur 2 back active. So this basically only costs 1, which is insane. The same math applies if you have something like a 5-drop Kid, or you have any other card that says grant an active Dawn when you Dawn minus.
Yep.
Pudding. That's what I'm thinking of. Pudding.
Yeah, Pudding. Really cool card. Really good card. And like, its on play usefulness is only extended by the fact that it's a 5k attacker. Like,
totally, and I think it actually is like the inverse of like something like the Kid that we just saw, where with the exception of Black Purple Luffy, where this card is like absolutely insane. This card's actually better in the late game as a 3/5 because you get to establish in every other purple deck, you establish a 5k lethal body on leader for 2 Dawn, and then you still have 8 Dawn to play with for the turn.
Yeah.
So like I think like that's
you can John Bart some people, dude.
Yeah, like, no, for real though, and you can like you get the multiplay power of this card to produce multiple lethal bodies in a turn, or produce a lethal body while still having like 8 Dawn to like suit up and swing into like a Jack or something, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this card's super flexible in that way. So I think I have to give it a 3.5 because at the end of the day, it is still like narrowed by a lot of things in this game that exist, but it's gonna play like a 4.
It's gonna play like a 4, and
you give it a 4 if you want.
I want to give it a 4. I want to give it a 4. I want to give it a 4. It's
yeah, you give it whatever you want.
Give it a 4.
Opinions are opinions. Everyone's got them, just like ass.
It's gonna. The thing is like, we have a lot of these cards that like will play at their power level, right? So we're gonna rate them. We're gonna rate them in the vacuum, and that's fine. 3.5 for sure. Sure. But damn, when this card comes out, it's gonna feel bad. So.
Okay, speaking of damn, when this card comes out.
Oh, dude.
Oh, sorry, this isn't the one. This is the one.
This is not the one.
This also was pretty cool. Gungam Thunder is a main Dawn -2 with 2 Dawn cost. You get to KO one of your opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less for Emperor Straw Hat, and then Dawn trigger. You get to ramp an active Dawn. So 2k removal. In most purple decks, basically Dawn -1 because you're recurring Dawn. In the Black Purple Luffy deck, you do this for free without the Dawn minus. You actually do this for 1 Dawn cost also because you get 1 back active in Black Purple Luffy, which is pretty sick. And yeah, 2 drop, actually kill a 6k power or less of your Taurus. Yeah, card's good. 3.5.
Yeah.
It's good early game, it's good late game. It's great.
Yeah, actively get 1 Dawn. I mean, trigger's gonna be bad later, but it's like your last trigger. But
yeah, but this is like every purple event. Like this is the trigger every purple event has.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 3.
This is the good one.
This is crazy.
Rubber Giant, a 1 cost for Emperor Straw Hat type event with counter. Dawn -2, you may discard 1 card from your hand if your leader has Straw Hat crew type. Up to one of your leaders or characters gets 4,000 power, then draw 2.
Man.
You're playing this at absolute top end, the counter from like big things swinging on your small things, or big things with a bunch of Dawn on it swinging on your other big things. And then you're like, also I'll filter. So this works 2 ways, you have to remember. So this works in setting up to have the right pieces for your next turn, but it could also be like, I have this in 2 non-counters. I will play this counter event, trash one of the non-counters, draw 2 new cards to then discard to counter.
That's
or
so crazy.
Or find another rubber giant. Play it. Like,
it's wild. It's wild how like just defensive purple is gonna be because of this.
This is in contention for top 10 1-drops in the game.
Yeah.
This like before, I think it was like there's 2 that are very obvious and the rest of the 8 are far and away. This is in that like top 1 through 3 contention. Easy.
This is gonna make red purple Luffy so
annoying.
Hard. Yeah, like oh god.
Yeah.
It's gonna fix that deck single-handedly.
Yeah, obviously the one drawback is that it is Straw Hat Crew locked. So you know you can't go playing this in your Kaido and your King deck. Sorry, Luke. But you know it's still just that good.
It's so good.
I'm gonna give it a 4. It's gonna play like a 4. Actually, here's the thing. I kind of want to give it a 5.
I don't want to give it a 5.
It's because it's like type locked that I can't give it a 5. It's like, so I'm gonna give it a 4, but it's gonna play like a 5. Whenever you want to actually play this card.
I feel the same. I think that if you see a purple Luffy card leader, if you see any purple Luffy leader, you're just gonna have to assume that this is in there. And you're gonna have to play around that.
And then every purple Straw Hat moving forward. So if they make purple Zoro, they make purple Sanji, they make purple Franky, they make any of them. I mean, you can play this in Robin.
You can play this in Robin.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You can play this in Oh my god, dude.
Card is crazy.
This card's cracked, dude. Oh, it's gonna play like a 5, dude.
We got also Rubber Skipping Rope, a 2-drop main event, Dawn -2. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters, cost 5 or less, and then draw a card. And this card is not locked. So this is actually just a really nice purple interaction card with trigger Rapid Active Dawn. For me, this is like pay 2, rest to 5, and then replace it. So you can just pay 2, because it's rest up to you can just pay 2, draw a card at the worst.
Yeah.
I feel this is like a 3.54. I'm gonna give it 3.5 because like purple usually wants kill. But this is gonna play like a lot higher than I'm grading it for sure across like decks going forward.
Yeah, it's kind of like a purple Tempest kick in it. and you get to get that Dawn back if you're purple black Luffy. So
What's the one from OP09 they were playing? Like, this is just a sheer upgrade of that. It was like Dawn -1 for 2, and you rest a 5 or less. It had like Brook on it. It was the sheep dude.
Sheep horn.
Sheep horn, yeah. Like this is like this is just better sheep horn in every single way.
Yeah. Yeah. 3.5. Yeah, that's pretty good. Draw a card is good for that.
We have the 1000 Sunny, a new 1000 Sunny stage for 1. During your opponent's turn, you may put the stage in the rest. And then when a character with Straw Hat was to leave your field due to an opponent's card effect, you can add 1 card from your Dawn deck rested. We're missing words here, but I'm 90% sure that it's Dawn.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I remember when this card got released and I was reading it, I'm like, no way, it's gonna say draw a card. And then it did it, and I'm like, this went from being a 4 to a 1.
Yeah.
Because you're already in purple. We don't need non-character ramp at this point. Like,
yeah, the thing that makes it cool is during opponent's turn and removal. So this is like setting up for like black removal, which is kind of cool. Yeah. But the reward for doing that is not
worth
equal.
It. Even if it was like untap a rested character, it's like when one thing dies, rest the stage, untap another one. So it's like, oh, you're getting on the Sunny and you're running away, right? Kind of vibe. Like that'd be cool. This isn't cool. So.
Yeah, ramping on opponent's turn doesn't. I don't know.
It's only 1.
Yeah.
No, this is a 1. This card's not playable.
This is 1.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Here's the thing. This is one of those cards where I could definitely be like, if 5 years we're still playing this game later, and you're like, there's a crazy combo deck that abuses this card to do some like alt win condition type stuff, even though it can only be activated once per turn, so I really doubt it. Then I believe you, but yeah, this card's a 1.
Yep.
And then finally, gotta go through everything, a little preview of everything coming up later. We do have our secret rare Monkey.D.Luffy card. It is a 9-drop. Oh, where's the manga? What? Wait, hold on. Pause. Oh, is the manga the 10? No, because the manga was said last time. Oh, wait, I think it's on page 1. No, that's the S10.
That's SD.
Where are you hiding? There we go.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
9-drop, 10,000 power. I absolutely love this manga pull, by the way. This is my favorite like Luffy shots of all time. When played, you may return 1 or more Dawn cards from your field. Draw a card, and this character gains Rush. This is just the Sanji again. You can play this in any purple deck, and then you get extra value for playing in the purple black Luffy deck. So in any other purple deck, you just pay the 1, you draw a card to replace it, which is insane, and then you also gain Rush, which is insane. And then the black purple Luffy deck, you can return 2, and then you will get 1 back active. So instead of having 1 extra Dawn to make this 11, you'll have 2 to make it 12. And then obviously they scale with all the other effects as well. You have uses skip blockers, you have puddings, anything that recurs Dawn when you activate the effect. You can just minus more Dawn, so you have more Dawn to get back active. This card is an absolute backbreaker for why purple is now in the game more than ever. This and the Sanji are doing the Lord's work. This is a 4. This is not quite a 5. It does change how you play against purple decks, but I argue it doesn't change how you build your decks. Is the thing in the same way. You just have to be like, okay, this exists now. It's because 9-drop Kaido already exists, and it kind of does pseudo similar ways in terms of how you interact with it. So I'm giving it a 4.5.
It's only Dawn -1, right?
Minimum 1. But you can do more, like I'm saying. So if you have black purple Luffy Leader, you can do 2, and then you'll get 1 back active. If you have a 5-drop Kid on board or puddings, you can scale it there, so you just get more active Dawn back on the triggers.
Right.
But minimum, it's 9. Pay 1 of the ones you just rested to draw a card, give it haste.
Oh, it's giving you the option of more so that you can activate leader effect.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right, I see.
That's how all the purple cards work in this set.
Yeah. I because I'm big ups on Kaido, and it's a Dawn -6 when it does its thing. I think this is absolutely like a better option card as opposed to Kaido that will do something similar.
The fact that it not like I would give this like a 4 just for having Rush. And then being within like the archetype, but it draws a card.
It draws a card.
It's like actually I think I'm lying. I think if it said draw a card or Rush only, I think I would give it a 3.5. But somehow the fact that it has both to me is like this is a 4.5. This card's insane.
Yeah, this is a 4. I think for me it's a 4 because I feel this way about large rush bodies that I feel bad whenever I play a rush large body and it gets chumped by a small body. Whereas Kaido bulldozes his way through it.
Look, I have a bridge to sell you? Do I have a bridge to sell you? So you play this in red purple Kid with Goldie Roger on the board after you take all your life, and they can't block it. Then they can't block it, Luke.
Ah!
Cooking. That is all of our purple cards, though. Let us know what you think about the purple cards in OP09. And of course, red, green, and blue are already up public for everyone on the channel. And if this is after we release this video, you're watching this after the first day. Some other cards like black and yellow may be out as well. Black and yellow, black and yellow. But if you want to get all of our content 2 weeks early, become a member, support the channel, help us make awesome content here. And until we see you guys next time, make sure to enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one.